Assalamu alaikum and good morning. Welcome you all guys in the lecture of the series of the biostates. And today is the lecture number 7, and the lecture number 7 we will go to cover the part D. In the part D we will go to measure the normal distribution under the normal curve by using the sample size. In previous two lecture, we measured the normal distribution under the normal curve by using a simple the z score were given to you, and just to go to find out the proportion or the percentage under the normal curve by using the z table. In the second formula, we use the z is equal to xi minus mu. We subtract the mu from the x and divide by the sigma. Then we will go to find out the z calculus value, and after finding the z calculus value, then we will go to use the z table, and then we will come up with the normal distribution or probability under the normal curve. Now in the third way to measure the normal distribution under the normal curve by using the sample size. Z is equal to xi minus mu divided by standard deviation and divided by the under root square root of the n is the sample size. So to solve this the third one using the third formula of the sample size to measure the normal distribution, we have the an example over here. Suppose the hemoglobin level in the adult woman is approximately normally distributed with mean of 12.7 gram per deciliter, and the standard deviation is 2.8 gram per deciliter. Now the question which is asking in this by using these numericals, that what is the proportion of the adult woman would you expect to have the hemoglobin level between 10 and 13 gram per deciliter. Now to solve this numerical, which formula we will go to use it? Definitely, if you see in this formula that the question is asking what is the proportion of the adult woman would we expect their hemoglobin level between 10 to 13. So no any sample size is given over here. So definitely we will go to use the first formula, the second one, which is we were used in the previous one. Now we will go to solve it by using the three steps. Step number 1, we draw the diagram. Okay. So in the diagram, definitely we will go to as I told you that the normal distribution data is always in the bell shape. Though the best property of the normal distribution that the mean, mode, median is always lies in the center. So the mean of this data is 12.7 gram per deciliter mu. So the data, now we will go to draw the data from this numerical to solve the questions. So the data mu is 12.7 gram per deciliter, and the standard deviation is 2.8 gram per deciliter. Now in the question they are asking what is the probability that of the woman of adult woman would you expect to have the hemoglobin level between 10 and 13. So definitely 12.7 is the mean, which is lies in the center. Then 10 will be over here, which is less from the mean. Okay, and 13, which is higher than the mean. It will be right down over here on the right side. Now in the question they are asking what is the probability that the adult woman would have the hemoglobin level between 10 and 13. So we are more concerned about this area. We will go to find out the proportion or percentage of the adult women would have the hemoglobin level between 10 to 30. So now in step number 2, we test statistics. We will use the formula. Test statistics are by using the formula. So for this, to solve this question, we will use the first formula because no any sample size has been given over here. So Z1 x1 minus mu divided by sigma. What is the x1? 10 minus 12.7 gram, and what is the standard deviations is 2.8 gram. So if you will go to -8 and then solve it, it will be come up with the result of 0.96 minus 0.96. Okay, so now minus 0.1916. Now what we will do? Now we will go to find out the Z2 of the 13. X2 minus mu divided by sigma. So what is the x2 is 13 minus 12.7 gram, which is the mu, and divided by the sigma, again 2.8 gram per deciliter. So it will be come up with the result of 0.1. Okay. Now what we will do in step number 3 or step number 2, we will go to find out the z-score value of the Z1 minus 0.96, then Z2 0.1 value. We will go to use, it will be from the Z table, it will be around 3315. Okay, and for the 0.0398, it is the value, it is the proportion value which is we draw from the Z table. Now what we will do, what is the question is asking? The question is asking what is the probability of the young adult woman would have the hemoglobin level between the 10 and 13. So definitely we will go to add up this both value 0.09398. It will be 0.3713. Now 0.3713 will go to multiply it by the 100. It will come up with the 37.13%. Okay. So now this is the result. Now in the step number 3, we will go to write down the result statement. Step number 3 is interpretation. We will go to write down the statement of the result interpretation. So what is the result interpretation? 37.13% of adult women would expect the hemoglobin level between 10 to 13 gram per deciliter. Okay, so we solve the numerical, which is what we ask what is the proportion of the adult women would be expect to have the hemoglobin level between 10 to 13. So in the last 37.13% of the adult women would expect to be the hemoglobin level between 10 to 13 gram per deciliter. Now we will go to solve the another the same numericals. We will go to solve it by using the third formula by the sample size. By the sample size. Now in the sample size, if we select, if randomly random sample of 16 adult women taken from the above population, then what is the proportion of sample hemoglobin level, sample size hemoglobin level would expect have between 10 to 13 gram per deciliter. Now in these questions, the question is the same, that suppose the hemoglobin level of the adult woman is approximately normally distributed with mean of 12.7 gram per deciliter and the standard deviation is 2.8 gram per deciliter. Now in this question is asking, if we randomly select the 16 adult women from the same above population, so what is the proportion, what will be the expected that the hemoglobin level will be of the 16 adult women between 10 to 13 gram per deciliter. Now we will go to solve the probability area under the normal curve of the 16 adult women between 10 to 13 gram per deciliter, there would be expected hemoglobin level. We will go to use this formula, the sample size formula. Now we will go to solve it again. We draw the data. The data is the same. Mu is 12.7 gram per deciliter and sigma is 2.8 gram per deciliter. But here we will go to write down the n. N is the sample size. What is the sample size? Is 16 adult women. 16 adult women. Now we will go again using the procedure of the 3 steps. Step number 1. Draw the diagram. Okay. Now draw the diagram. In the draw the diagram, the 12.7, which is present, the mu of the population is present in the center, and we are concerned with the 13 and 10. But the sample size is 16. So now again we are concerned to find out the proportion of the the hemoglobin level of the 16 adult women would be expected between 10 to 13 gram per deciliter. Now we will go to use the second. We will go to solve. We will go to use the second steps of the procedure. Test statistics. Test statistics, or we will go to use the formula. Now, what is the formula for to solve this numerical? We will go to use Z minus Xi minus mu sigma standard deviation divided by n. Okay. Now Z1. Again, Z1 is x1 minus mu divided by s divided by under root by n. So it is 10 x minus 12.7 divided by 2.8 divided by under root. What is the sample size? Is 16. So if we will go 10 minus point, it will be around, if we will draw the square root of the 16, it will be 4. Then we will go divide the 2.8 by the 4. We will go divide the 2.8 by the 4. It will be around, come up with the 0.7. So the whole result will come up minus 0.85, minus 0.385, minus 3.85 is the Z1. Now we will go to solve the Z2. Z2, x2 minus mu divided by standard deviation divided by square root. Again, 13 minus 12.7 divided 2.8 divided by the square root of 16. Then it will be the score, the result will become a 0.428. Then we will go to round up, it will be 0.43. So minus 0.385 is the result of the Z1 and 0.43 is the result for the Z2. Now we will go to find out the Z-score value. The Z-score value for minus 0.385 and 0.49. So for the minus 3.85 is 0.4999, and for Z2 is, we will go to take the help of the 0.43. It will be 0.1664. Now what you will do? Definitely from here to here, this is come up 0.4999. Okay. Now from here to here, it is 0.1664. Now we have the concern, what is the probability that the 16 adult women would have the hemoglobin level between 10 to 13? So what we will go? We will go to add up both the values. We will go to add up both the Z-score value. It will be around 0.6663. Then we will go to multiply it by 100. It will become up with the 66.63%. Okay. Now 66.3% is the expected hemoglobin level of the 16 adult women between 10 to 13. Now in step number 3, we will go to write down the result statement. So in the result statement, we will go to write down that the 66.63% of the 16 adult women would have the hemoglobin level between 10 to 13 gram per deciliter. Okay. In the step number 3, we will go to write down the result statement. So what would be the result statement? That the 63.63% of the 16 adult women would have the hemoglobin level between 10 to 13 gram per deciliter. So we solve it. So first we will come up in what's the difference between this second formula and the third formula. In the second and third formula, difference is that this is the standard deviation divided by the square root of the n, and this standard deviation divided by square root n is called the standard error. It is called the standard error. Actually, the sample which is we draw from the population, for the probability, the random sample is a type of the probability sampling. If we draw the probability sampling of the 16 adult women, which is we draw from the above population, it is by the randomly sampling method. So the random sampling method, the 16 adult women is the true representation of the above population, but it is not the accurate representation of the above population. So the difference between the population mean and the sample mean, the difference between the population mean and sample mean is always called the standard error always be come up, because the sample which is we draw by the probability method from the population, it is the true representation, but it is not the accurate representation. So the standard error is always be remain. And the standard error, the formula for the standard error is S divided by square root of the n. Okay. Now, how we go to how much the standard error? It is depend. The standard error is depend on the sample size. Suppose standard error 2.8 we divided by the 16. So the square root by the 16, it will come up by the 7. The result will come up with the 0.7. If I increase the sample size, again the standard error is same, and I increase the sample size is 36. Now we will go to divide the, now see here, 2.8 divided by, what is the square root of for the 36 is the 6. So it will be decreased from 0.7 to 0.46. Okay, then again I will increase the same, I increase the sample size from 36 to 81. Now what will be? We will go to divide the, what is the square root for 81 is 9. 2.8 divided by 9. Now see, it come up with the 0.31. Now see, it is decreased that is more decrease. How the sample size, how much I increase the sample size, the standard error always be decreased down. So because if the mirror image, if the mirror defect in any, if suppose 10 guys are walking, one guy is walking in the abnormal way, so you can find very easily that that guy among the 10 boys is little bit they have a defect in their walking, in their gait, because due to the handicap. If the same handicap guys or the boy you put in the 1,000 boys, then you cannot find out that which guy is walking is in an abnormal way. So the same method is that if you increase the sample size, the error, the margin of error become a decrease, it become a diluted, it become a dissolved. So it will be more minimum. It cannot be visualized very easily. So for the today's session, I hope it is clear the concept about how to measure the normal distribution under the normal curve by using the three formula. In the first formula, we measure the probability area directly by given the z score. Then we will go find out the proportion or the percentage under the normal curve by using the z table. In the second formula, we find out the probability distribution of the under the normal curve by using the xi minus mu and divided by the sigma, by the mean and by the sigma. In the today session, we find out the probability area under the normal curve by using the sample size. Z score, Z is equal to xi minus mu divided by s and divided by standard deviation and divided by the square root of the sample size. So we find out the probability area under the normal curve by using the sample size. So I hope it is clear the concept of you all, and if you any sort of the query or any question, you can email me or you can comment in my inbox of the YouTube channel. And the last, I request you all, up till now you didn't subscribe my YouTube channel, please subscribe my YouTube channel and also communicate your friend, your colleague, classmate, and if you are any faculty member in any institution in the medical, health sciences or the nursing institution, please communicate your student to watch my video lecture of the biostats. It is very knowledgeable, it is very enhanced the grip of the statics on the static course. And press the bell button, because by the pressing the bell button you will get my new lecture as soon as I upload on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much.